Here we go. What is going on? What is going on, everyone? Thank y'all so much for tuning into another episode of Beyond the Hustle. I'm your MC, Daniel Tatterman, and join with me every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. is serial entrepreneur himself, Mr. Paul Rene. What is going on, Paul? What is going on? This is episode 16. What's up, man? What's up, my man? Episode 16, man. We've been doing this for some time, my brother.
We have, man. We have, Daniel. And thanks to you, Daniel, the maestro, the glue to put this all together. Daniel Tatterman, the man behind everything. I appreciate you, bro. But it is I, your tax guy, Paul Rene. You know what time it is. Man, it's tax season. 16 episodes down.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we're not looking to stop anytime soon. That discipline that we're having has made this a repetitive habit that's instilled in us now, man. It's like we can't stop even if we wanted to, right?
Nah, I always compare this when I'm in conversations with my wife. What up, babe? When I'm in conversations with her, I compare this to the sit down a lot, as far as like, not the content is different and the style and everything's different, yet the consistency, the call to excellence, the desire for that quality and the excellence, moving to excellence, and being prepared and ready for what comes. I think that's what helped when it came to doing this. The issues I had with the sit down, the falls, the pitfalls, and all the problems I had with that, I was able to kind of like plan for them with this. So it made it a little easier. It's easier to do this. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say it's easy, right? It's easier to do this though.
Yeah, says the man with years of experience under his belt, right? Reason why you at it like nothing. Like this is a piece of cake. And you get to deal with a guy like me who makes it easier for you, right, to deal with.
Oh, too, dude, I told you off camera, bro. Like the fact that you can facilitate convo, and you do it so well. I'm like, dude, like, all right, I'll sit here and push my buttons.
I just like people, man, and I like hearing the stories that they have. Listening to entrepreneurs. Last time we had my big homie Kamel Shoot Cam on here, and I wanted to hear his stories. Just watching him become the successful person that he is, and all the other people that I don't even know. I wanted to hear what their stories were about, man, and the similarities of entrepreneurs, man, and the trials and tribulations, the ups and downs that we go through, man. You can see how it relates to almost everyone who jumps on this entrepreneurial train, man. It's a similarity that I like seeing, and it does give me that confirmation that we're in a different group than most people. Not saying we're better, but it's just a different mindset, different group, different hustle. We're putting in more hours than regular. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask you a question. I know you had some things that you want to run down, but we're having a conversation, bro. So watching you grow as a public communicator, because that's what this is, right? You're publicly communicating, on a platform. Watching you grow in that in real time, right? And you deal with these things. A lot of people, business owners, entrepreneurs, they're approached with opportunities like this, or they have a desire for a podcast or to start dropping content. Oksana says, side note, she says, we make it look easy, but it isn't much respect for the consistency. So appreciate that, babe.
Definitely.
But, I talk to people and they always say, oh, I want to start a podcast. Yet they struggle with getting in front of people, making those, mistakes or, stumbling through it, figuring it out. What is it like for you to grow in real time as a communicator? Did you deal with, butterflies or things of that nature? But I guess, share that,
That's a good question, man. I don't think I've always had the skill set of being a communicator. for you make it easy, to learn from. You're a great communicator, and I've been following your lead and getting on here. But just being a businessman, I have to communicate, with
Mhm.
my clients in order to get the point across, right? Um, so throughout the years, my early years, I'm not going to say that communication was um, easy for me. It took some growing into, and I still have a lot more work to do. And this platform allows me to even exercise those communication skills, so I'm grateful
Yeah.
for it. Right? I wish I had the communication skills that my dad have, even a fraction of it. But I was always a shy guy, man. Always a shy, introverted guy that kept to himself. Only had a handful of friends that I dealt with.
Mhm.
Only because uh, I'm a straight shooter, right? And so it's like you either love me or hate me, either or. Because I'm gonna tell you the deal, right? And you might
Yeah.
not like it, but I'm not as tactical with my approach and communications. So I have this fast brain where I'm always thinking about things. So
Mhm.
it'll develop. Early on, it developed. I had a stuttering habit, right? So because I'm always thinking, faster than I'm speaking.
Mhm.
Plus, with the ability to learn and pick up languages. Sometimes I'm translating different languages and stuff. It was a problem for me, right? Early on, but I like it. I enjoy it now, right?
Mhm.
Especially being on this platform and dealing with um, entrepreneurs and being able to teach and talk about current events. It just allows me to be able to communicate and get my point across and practice on it, right? And
Yeah.
practice makes perfect. But you're right, man. I even before we started this podcast, I've had people come up to me and say, "Yeah, I want to start a podcast. I want to start it." I'm just like, "Yo, just do it, right? Just do
Yep.
it." And man, look, if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna just go out and try it and do it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the try and the fail, right? That's part of it. Being a serial entrepreneur, I'll regret not trying something
Mhm.
rather than you know um, just not doing it. I gotta do it, or I'm gonna just it's gonna eat me up, man. I'll be in bed every day, like, damn, I ain't do it. Dang, I ain't do it. I don't know how it doesn't affect other people that way,
Yeah.
right? But for me, that's really my fear. Really, is not doing something or not trying something. So when people ask me, hey, Paul, can you come and speak to the people? Can you come and speak to the youth? Can you come and speak to the adults, teach them about financial planning, teach them about
Mhm.
investments or whatnot? Um, you know, I I don't hesitate. I just go ahead and do it. Regardless of what the outcome might be. I've always found that there's always some type of opportunity that comes out of the fear, of whatever I'm approaching. That lets me know that I'm probably jumping onto something is when I'm getting that,
That nervousness.
adrenaline rush, anxiety. Yeah, like, yo, I don't know what's gonna
Yeah.
happen. Here's this opportunity though, so let me go ahead at it, and something usually comes up out of it, man.
There is a
But
rush
yeah,
that comes with it, and that's what I think drew me to, because performing and preaching and teaching, doing all those things on stage, there is a rush that comes with it. It's just like we're talking. I think we talked about it last week. Did we talk about it last week when we were talking about when you
about
start
what?
getting paid for the first time from a client, or you get
Oh
paid
yeah,
for entrepreneurship, or that sale, you get that sale.
yeah,
There's a
an
rush with
addiction
that.
to it.
Yeah, and you're
Hmm.
just like, oh man, I got to do it again. I want to do it again. I want to kill it again. It's the same thing. There's a rush that comes with it, and you just want to keep winning at it. And I think that's just that winner's mentality. Those are the
Yeah,
winners.
I sucked at my first public speaking.
Yeah.
Right, I sucked at it. Yeah, of course. And then you know what? You know what? My whole time afterwards, I was just like, man, I gotta do it again, man. I want to do better. I gotta do this better. You know what I'm saying? I see where I messed up at. I'm not gonna do that
uh,
again.
yeah.
It's kind of like you know how it is when you were an artist. Is like you get on a track and you like,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, I should have laid that better, right? I should have got
I
on
could do
this
better.
track better. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm always, I'm not like delusional. I know my weaks. I know my weaknesses, my strengths.
Mm-hmm.
I like working on my weaknesses. That only makes me better because my strengths are off the chain. So let's
Yeah.
work on these weaknesses too, right? So you know what I
Yeah.
mean. But
Nah, that's
yeah,
dope.
man, what got you into the communication? Was
Dude,
it the music?
um, I want to say yes and no, right? So I never, even when I did music, even though rapping was a form of communication and that is like
Mhm.
spoken word, that's not the way I thought about it. I thought it was just like music. I thought it was just like rap. And then my wife and I, we had a radio segment. Shout out to Knowledge. Every time I tell this story, a big shout out to Knowledge. He got me into communication. He had the Word Knowledge radio show, and Oksana and I had a segment within the radio show called Real Talk with the Tatamies. It's like a 30-minute segment, I believe. Um, and we started doing it, and then that started like grooming me into like talk and communication. So when I would perform, I just get up there, hey, I'm Danny Tatamy, play the first track, and I'm playing the music. All right, bye, and I leave. I never talked or introduced music to songs. Never did any of that. Just on and off stage.
Okay.
And then I started doing that, and then I'm like, oh man, because I was never afraid. I wasn't afraid to public speak. I wasn't afraid to get in front of people. I never. Yeah, I feel the butterflies, but I'm just like, whatever. We're gonna get up here and talk. So I was never
Yeah.
afraid to do that, man. And then my dad's a pastor. I mean, you know that. So like, I
Yeah.
think it was just always in me. And so, um, after the George Floyd murder, I told you the story how the sit down came about. My wife was like, "You should do it." Never, did anything like that before. I just did it, and I, I'm good at it. And I never believed I was good at it. I was always like, I don't want to be in front of the camera. I don't want to be in front, right? I never wanted
Yeah.
to do it. It I would say this podcast is when I started owning it, saying that I'm good at this. This
Yeah.
podcast got me owning it.
Hey,
I never
Dark
would own
City.
it before. Yeah, I would never would own it, bro. I would never do it. I'm just like, I don't care. But now it's just like, yeah, nah, I'm gonna get out here now. So, and then
Well,
the streaming
talking
too.
about speaking of communications, Daniel, I had a thought in mind for a topic in mind for us to be talking about.
Right.
Like this week, I wanted it to be our first episode um, for us to put on that foil hat, that tin foil hat,
Oh
right?
yeah, let's go.
Conspiracies, right? Anyone who knows me knows I'm like the number one conspiracy theorist, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it. On a lower level though. We're not gonna take it up there to where the men in black are gonna come busting through the windows and everything like that. I like living the life that I live, but
Yeah. Yeah.
communication is a big part of propaganda that drives our country, that drives the nation. Um, the media, right? The mainstream media. I mean, we had someone, who's sitting in the presidency seat right now call out the mainstream media because he understood how the mainstream media is used to create propaganda and to control the masses. And at the time that he was calling it out, it was being used to paint a picture of him as being the enemy. And this is just through his eyes and his lens. Some people might consider him the enemy or whatnot.
Right.
To me, it's all part of the same thing. It's all part of the game of propaganda. It's all a show. Let's not forget, our president was one of the major actors out there, with his own shows, and the Apprentice being one of the top shows out there. So he knows how to read a script. He knows how to read, or stay on topic, and how to control the masses himself. He's a great speaker, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is he part of that game? Is he part of the propaganda? Who knows? Well, we all know that the president isn't the one that controls the nation. He's not. It's not a dictatorship, even though some people might think that that's what he's trying to do or trying to create or whatever. But Why would they think something like that? I think it's because of whatever the thoughts might be, whatever's being put out there. One of the things is confusion. Confusion helps separate people, help them not, really understand what's going on. A bit of the truth here, some misinformation there, right? That causes a lot of confusion. But um, who controls all this? It's the media, man. The mainstream media, the programming that you see on TV, that has trickled down into social media and different outlets. That's still mainstream,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it goes. It's something that I think a lot of people are not aware that majority of things that they see on TV is scripted, man. It's controlled. It's an agenda. It's a propaganda that goes out there. Why would I say that? You have a whole bunch of different news channels, right? Let's go to the news channels, the TV channels, the NBCs, the mainstream ones that we know and hear about. All in different counties or different cities. They have different, channels with different news anchors and um, you know, NBC in Orlando, or, News or whatever, Fox News in
Yep.
Orlando,
We got the
Fox News in
Fox.
Miami, Fox News in whatever, Tampa, NBC News in Orlando, NBC News in Miami and Tampa and New York, all a whole bunch of hundreds and thousands of different anchors in different cities, but they're all spewing out the same script, right?
Yep.
How is that even possible? It's because they're all owned by the same companies, right? You have six main companies for people who don't know that controls these agendas, man, and they're called the Big Six. All right, I don't know. Have you ever heard of the Big Six, Daniel?
I I heard about it. I don't know their names. Like I don't know the names of them or the name of the companies, but I have heard that before.
Yeah, man. All
I
these
have
six
heard that
companies,
before.
yeah, all these six companies have their meetings, their emails, their marching orders that are passed down to it right before they come in and get on a TV screen.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what we're going to tell America. America, do you know what the Big Six is? Do you know? It's like, what? How many people are supposed to be in a boardroom? About 12 people,
Mm-hmm.
right? 12, 6. You know what? That's 70, 72 people, right? That control a majority of what the majority of what the masses hears and listens
Yeah.
to and controls the emotions. They tap into the feelings of people, man, right?
Here.
And make them think this way and that way. They sway people. They separate people. They create a narrative to where
Yeah.
people who get arrested, or not even before they get arrested, they're already charged, so that they do get arrested. And when they do get arrested, you already have, you know the verdict, before the jury even calls out a verdict,
Yeah.
right? And that's the power of the media,
This
and it's
is
been like that for a long, 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 long time.
this is what I gotta say about that, and it's gonna be it's gonna be left field, but uh, do you can you blame them? Because just think about it like this, right? Just say that you have America holds like over 300 and something million people um, live in this country. Over 300, I think it's like 350. I think that's where we're at million. So you have so many people that you have to get from point A to point B. Whatever your point A
Yeah,
and B is, you're trying to get them there. I equate it to running a household. Your father, you're the leader of this household. You have to get those people from here to there, right? My father had
yeah.
7 kids, 9 individuals in the house. My father, a mom, 7 kids. That's 9 people in the house. He can account for himself. When it came to the kids and my mom, you can't always account for that because the one thing that even this machine can't account for is for human error or the way a human's going to think because you can't really deal with that, right? That's the
Hmm.
unpredictable part of this whole thing. But you have to move that machine. because you know where you have to get to. And you got people that's going to agree, jump on board, and then you got people that's not. So how are you going to do that? Right? Well,
Yeah.
I think that all came from radio waves, because I have to be able to communicate to all of these people at the same time. Before the invention of the radio, there was no way to get information into these people's homes, right? You can't sway, you can't move them from here to there. So you had to use telegrams. We had Morse code and all those type of things, but that wasn't still in the home, right? So once you start doing things like that, and then you got the TV coming into the home, now you can communicate with them a lot more. And you know this for yourself, Paul.
Yeah.
Too many Chiefs, not enough Indians. You can't have the higher you get up, the smaller, the room gets, the higher you go, right? Because you can't have so many decision makers. When it comes to your household, you're the decision maker. It's dad,
Yeah.
and that's it. So I'm not saying that I always agree with the way things go, or I agree with, the decisions that people are making, but I understand, right? I understand. And that's why it's important for us. And I'm going to say this about people of color because, I don't agree with everything Trump does, right? I'm not going to say I agree with everything. I agree with most of it. Of what he does, but that goes with anybody, any leader, any person in charge, right? I'm not going to go 100%, yet we know we have a mission to, we have a mission to accomplish. So I understand, but what I'm saying? I get it. I wouldn't want it. I'm not going to lie. I thought I wanted politics. I went to school for politics, and I was just like, But then the more I watched it, I'm like, dang, I probably should have did some in politics.
Yeah, you wanted you wanted to be a senator, Senator Tatterby.
I wanted to be mayor. So I went to school. I was like, okay, yeah, I wanted to be mayor of Orlando because I wanted to influence my city. But I'm watching what the president does, and I'm like, bro, there's not a lot of representation for Black. There's not a lot of us being represented. And I speak for Black because I am, but there's not a lot of us in there. And I'm like, bro, those are the rooms we got to get to. It's great to be an athlete. It's great to be an entertainer. And then make decision makers, Paul. Entertainers don't dictate nothing, bro. I'm just being honest. You can do certain things with money, but that influence and that power, bro, that comes with politics, bro.
Yeah, the ability to create and change laws, man. That is power right there.
Yeah,
and a lot of those people who have that power to create and change laws don't even follow them themselves. That's some crazy stuff right there.
They don't even be doing nothing, bro.
You think?
Man, dog. Okay, let's be honest, right? This is the way I look at it, and I look at doctors and lawyers the same way. We talked about it before. Me and you on the phone. It's just like you have a 9 to 5, you have a job. Not everybody wants to do their job, right?
Correct.
These Amazon drivers, you see them online, they be throwing boxes. I used to work in the mailroom, bro. We used to I used to work in the mailroom when I was working overseas, dog. I worked in the mailroom, and we're throwing boxes across the warehouse, bro, to each other.
Right.
Throwing it into, we're shooting the box, into the bag, because, sometimes you do bag mail when units used to come pick up their mail. They didn't have enough for a tri-wall or something like that, which is a big box for y'all that don't know what a tri-wall is. And then some people just had bags, and we had them like how a trash can would be set up, like the bag stuck to net, and we shooting that across the warehouse, bro, like a basketball. Everybody F's off at their job. Well, a lot of people do. I ain't gonna say everybody, even though I believe it's everybody. It's just like any other job, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. I get
even what we're doing. Dude,
they're not doing what they should be doing.
I don't think for 1 second.
That's the difference between what Trump's been in.
I was gonna bring that up.
Right, a couple of weeks now, and this guy's working 24/7. Every day something's happening with this man, right?
I
He's
think they
going
said
to
he
work.
signed
He's
like
putting
what
in
300
that work.
executive orders or something like
Man,
that.
and a lot of politicians, you're right, they
Yeah,
don't do anything.
they don't
You
do
know,
nothing, bro.
they don't even listen or read the bills that they vote into law either,
Right,
right? You know,
right,
so I get that. I really do get that. It's just that to me, I still think it's you know a duty for the media to be objective, though, right? Instead of like trying to create a narrative,
right.
I think the duty should be to be informative,
Mm-hmm.
right, or investigative. You know,
Investigative.
instead of painting, yeah, instead of already, claiming that this guy is guilty of a crime, let's figure it out. Let's do our investigative work. Here's what we uncovered, right? Not, yeah, this guy's guilty because this and that and that. You really don't have a chance to fight your case if that's what you're already pumping out before you even have a trial. Because everyone who's been watching the news now is in the jury, and they already came to the conclusion based off of how the media has swayed them, right? Um, so I think it's kind of a manipulation of the people, of the system, of the powers that they have. Um, why am I even talking about this, man? I don't know, but I
But
think the main reason why is because in the last couple of days I've been swayed to not want to jump on an airplane and travel to Colombia or go to DR, to chill,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because like I think I've been sharing a lot of those
you
those
have.
articles with you, man. It's like
Yeah,
pumping day after day after bomb
you
after
have.
that. A plane go down. Mayday, mayday. Crashing. Let
Yeah,
another plane go down. What's going on? This is unbelievable.
yeah.
Don't jump on an airplane. Another one's down. Another one's dead. It's like, yo, what's going on here, bro? It's the perception of you gonna die if you jump on a plane, man. Because every day with there's something going on with airplanes, and literally that's what they're
Yeah,
pumping out and showing, man.
yeah.
They're making me not want to jump on an airplane just by how they're pumping it out in the media right now.
I
Why am
want
I
to know
pointing it
what
out?
the. I want to know
Go ahead.
what. No, I was gonna say. I want to know what the percentage is for plane crashes, because
There
there's a
we go. That's
percentage.
why I pointed it out. That's
There's
why I'm
a
gonna point out. Yeah.
there's a what's the odds on a plane crashing? But I was gonna say this to you while you were talking, because it is crazy. But that's why things like this, like even I like what Trump did. I posted about it. I told you about it. What I want to do with Beyond the Hustle as well. Trump said that he wanted to make this the most transparent, presidency. He wanted to make this the most transparent one. So what he did was he opened up the briefing room. I think it's the briefing room. I forget wherever the press secretary comes out or whatever and speaks to the masses. She opened that up for independent journalists,
Yeah,
independent
you
media
mentioned that.
outlets. Yeah, I mentioned that, and which is dope, and that's what, man. It all goes back to thinking for yourself, being an independent. It kind of boils back to what we do with Beyond the Hustle, bro, and
Yeah.
and getting it for ourselves through entrepreneurship, desiring to be a business owner, and passing those things down to the kids. It speaks to all of that, right? Because being in this society, and I love America, bro. Like I love our country. I've been fortunate enough to be able to see, you know, and meet people from other countries, visit other countries, and there really is no place like America. You can enjoy it, right? And people love it. You can have extended stays at the places. Yet America is pretty dope, bro. And so, and I think that it's dope because you can do things on your own like this. Not to say that you can't do this other places, right? But just the way you do it here. We said we wanted to start, a media outlet. And that's what they said is this is media, podcast is media. We wanted to do it. And we were able to do it. You're at home, you know what I'm saying? I'm at home. and we're able to put something together like this, right? Just saying that we wanted to
Yeah.
do it. And that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. And I think if people want to not be swayed or not be moved by what mass media does, and that's why independent outlets and things like this is great, because it gives that checks and balance, when necessary, right? It gives that checks and balance. And if you want to do it, you can do it. If you don't want to be swayed, you're going to seek other information. But
Yeah, but why
let's
has
just
it
be
changed,
honest.
man? The reason it's changed is because back in the day, journalists used to come up with the objective, uh, you know, reports. They used to come up with the truths about what happened. They didn't come up with agendas or propagandas. They did their research,
Mm-hmm.
they uncovered stories, and they exposed people, right? And then
Yeah.
they end up becoming missing or dead and getting hit by a random car and stuff like that. Right now,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
now these journalists, right? They are just following the script. They're following the script, man,
Yeah.
and just to stay alive. And I don't blame them. They need their job and
Mm-hmm.
everything, but it's just telling that story of um man, what's the truth, right? What's the truth out there? Are we even um, supposed to be hearing the truth? Are we privileged enough to be hearing the truth? Because they don't want to tell us the truth. Everyone who tells us the truth ends up dying. There've been you know people who invented things that goes beyond our conventional knowledge of technology to
Mm-hmm.
where they can drive a car on water, and they end up dead, right? Because they try to expose the truth. They get patents and in their inventions, and next thing you know, they get ran over by a car, hit and run, right?
They often.
Or their
It's like that movie
or
stuff.
their equipment or their equipment gets taken in their lab, right? It gets stolen in the middle of the night. Um, so telling the truth has its um, risks,
Yeah.
major risks,
Major.
right? And yeah, nowadays they don't want you to know the truth. And my thing is, what's the truth? What's going on about the motive of them pushing out all these plane crashes, Daniel? Like, statistically speaking, right? Um,
I was gonna. I was gonna. I was gonna. Go ahead. Go
Plane
ahead.
crashes are
Cause
not rare. Plane crash is just we haven't been exposed to it at the magnitude that they're exposing it to us now. It's like, how come?
you
It's
said.
not rare. Like,
Are you saying it's not rare? Plane crashes are rare, or like
they're
they
not rare. They
so
have about throughout the years, on average you get like 5 plane crashes a day, but people don't hear about it,
you
right? It's
said
not
five.
as
You said five a day.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. That's
see, I'm
statistically
looking.
speaking.
I'm looking.
On
I'm looking at
average,
the.
and I'm not saying fatal ones
I was
though.
about to say yeah, because I looked up. I looked up the deaths. I looked up how many people die in
Right.
plane crashes. You
Not
you
saying
have
fatal ones, but it
right.
happened.
Yeah, it does happen.
I'm
It
not I'm
happens.
not looking at deaths. I'm just looking at crashes, because most
Crashes.
are
Okay.
most of them are not crashes. You have
Right.
worldwide per year on average 70 to 90 plane crashes per year,
Oh,
right?
that's rare though.
And when you compare it to car crashes, right? Yeah, that is rare.
Well, will you compare it
But
to how many flights fly
correct. Yeah,
a
I get
year?
that. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the point I'm trying to get at. It's not as rare for planes to crash though. That's the point I'm trying to get. Like, you're gonna get like 70 to 90 a year. That's still a lot of crashes, bro,
It's
for
a
a
lot
plane
of
crash.
crashes, but it was the fatality risk was 0.03. That was the fatality risk on flying in 2023. There were 327 uh, aviation deaths in 23, 358 in 2022, and in 2021 there was 414 deaths in
Deaths.
plane crash deaths. Yeah. Uh, Now it's okay. So this one here, this number here, in 2023, there were 1,216 accidents involving a U.S. registered civilian aircraft. Now that's civilian, and they're saying that there was accidents. So we don't know if that was a crash. We don't know if that was engine failure. It could have been landing, takeoff. It could have been all those anything like that. But
Have
it
we
says
even reached close
accidents
to those numbers yet
in
for
2025.
2025?
Let's see where we're at in 25. Let's see. Uh, let's see. And where we at? We're
The
in
the point I'm
February.
trying to get is that when you find it, let me know. You found it.
Nah,
The point I'm trying to get the point I'm trying to get at is not rare for planes to crash. And we've been seeing a lot of minor plane crashes too going on here that they're publicizing and putting out there. Not saying that. Look, I'm not trying to disregard the deaths or anything like that. I'm just trying to say there's a story of fear being pumped out, that hasn't normally been pumped out before.
fear of flying. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
There's been a total of 85 deaths. Uh,
Okay. So it's still not, there yet, close to those numbers yet, right? I mean, it's still a high amount of numbers. Don't get
that's
me
a
wrong.
that's a
Let's
lot of
respect.
people dying in a plane. Um,
Yeah, one time. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are on a plane at one
over the
time.
course of now that happened in 12 days. We hit
Yeah.
over the course of
Okay.
12 days starting in January 29th. A total of
So,
85 people have died.
so you think there's going to be some more next week and the week after, and
I don't know because you got to look at who's on the plane, who died, right? It's sort of like now if you really wanted tinfoil had it, you know, you could find out who was on that plane and who was a person on that plane a target, and we just and the whole plane just went down to take out that person or those people, you know,
that's
because now that is dark. That's if you really want to go down a rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? If you
well, it
really want to
happens.
take the red
It
pill.
happens. There are targeted assaults on these planes, right? I would assume
I believe
this is
so,
probably the
dude.
reason why a
I
lot of
believe it.
yeah, there's a lot of major corporations don't even allow their high executives to fly on the same planes when they're going to different destinations, just in case they're trying to take out those executives. They're gonna have to multitask and take out multiple planes if they're trying to take out those high level executives in that corporation. So I'm not saying that people don't get targeted and then the whole plane goes down
Yeah,
and whatnot. I'm just saying that they're pumping it out there a lot, right?
for
Like
us to see.
nowadays, for us to see it when it
Mm-hmm.
has been discreet within these last, couple of years, even though it's been happening within these last couple of years,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
to me, my tinfoil hat is saying there's something going on.
So,
There has to be something going on. Even if
oh,
even
for
if
sure.
now even if now like the numbers go up this year, right?
Uh huh.
Then it definitely something intentional going on, right? Because now it's out of the ordinary,
Yeah.
but the publicity is out of the ordinary already, in my opinion, right?
You right.
It's just my opinion. You can disagree, and I'll respect that, but it's just making me question every time I see things on the media that's controlled by these six companies that has an agenda and a script and a story to play out, right? Based on based off of that knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
it makes me question what are they trying to push out,
Yeah, because
right?
it does make you think, because this stuff does happen every year. It does, right? Whether it's at this rate that we're currently seeing or not, right? This could be now. Crashing in public places is crazy. That's new. Like crashing in
Yeah.
houses, because, and that may be why it is getting the light that it's getting, because they are happening in public places, right? They're happening in major public, like planes disappear all the time. And your video is like choppy, Paul.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, planes disappear. I think they said they just found one of the planes that disappeared like years ago. I didn't click on it or investigate it, but I
I
heard
heard
a
about
story
that.
about that. Yeah, I heard a story about that, and I thought that was kind of crazy. But so, but for whatever reason, somebody is saying, "Hey, we want to pump this out today. We want them to see it." Now, is it to make people fearful of flying, or what is it? I'm not sure. Um, maybe we'll find out. Maybe we won't. But it definitely is crazy, and I do believe that there's a lot out there that we don't know, that we don't understand. And I'm with all the smoke, Paul. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm even with the aliens, dog.
With the aliens?
Yeah, bro. I'm even with that, bro.
Well,
Now I don't know how I respond if I was to see one, but I'm with it, bro. And I think we talked about this before, but I am with it.
what do you mean by what with it though? I'm not understanding.
Like, like, like. I do believe that. I do believe that something is out there now. What is it? I don't know. Like, right? I don't know. Maybe aliens. It may not. Right? But I mean, I don't know that part. But I do believe that there's more to all of this than what we see. Even with the plane crash, even with the conspiracies that people talk about. There was a crazy conspiracy when Trump was. I mean, not when Trump. When Obama was in office, they were saying that he was buying all of these black coffins. Like, it was crazy, bro.
Well, really?
Yeah, it was crazy, and I did some research on. There was a journalist that was investigating. I think he fled from America or something like that. But I think he ended up coming back. It was a popular journalist, investigative
Because he
journalist.
uncovered the truth about something that he shouldn't have,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
But the crazy part about it is he had a YouTube channel. And he was talking about it on YouTube. So I'm like, even raise an eyebrow at that, bro. I raise an eyebrow at a lot of stuff. Now, I do believe that there's some crazy stuff out there. I just don't know what it is, and I just don't know if it is what is being told to me at that very moment, right? So when I
mm,
say I'm with it, it's just like, I wouldn't care. You know what I'm saying? If aliens was to come down right now, Paul, yeah, I'd be freaked out to see them, but I wouldn't be freaked out to say like, oh my gosh, I didn't know. It'd just be like, oh, so that's what y'all look like. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You know? But you know what I'm saying? But that it all goes back to this, bro. It all goes back to mentality, right? And your mentality that has been shaped by your family, been shaped by your friends, been shaped by relationships, siblings, your mentality that you've allowed to take shape, you know, within you, it's either going to do two things when faced with the unknown or opposition. It's either fight or flight, right? And I don't want to go too deep with it, right? But so it's just
yeah,
like either either what you're facing at that moment. At the end of the day, like there's something I'm living for, right? There's a purpose for me waking up, even having this podcast, this conversation. There's a purpose for everything I do in my life. So whatever I'm faced with at that moment is either gonna stop me from getting to that purpose, or it's gonna like propel me, right? Or I'm allow it to prepare me, or I'm gonna just go through it, because nothing is gonna stop me from getting there. You know, uh, death, because then I'm not living anymore, right? I it's so like that, and that's what people have to come I guess obsessed with, like, you have to be obsessed with your why and what you're doing this for. So even hearing these conversations, there's some people, they'll get stuck down a rabbit hole and it'll freeze them, right?
Well,
Because the
yeah.
world is evil and the boogeyman is after them, and they do nothing. I'm serious, bro. Racism stops them from moving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The world's gonna crash today. Oh my gosh, the stock market. Remember in the year 2000, everything was supposed to get shut off, right?
Y2K. Yeah.
Yeah, Y2K, and then the Mayans stopped counting on their calendar for whatever reason, and the world was
Nostradamus.
supposed to end. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All these.
all of these things, bro. And then Clinton. I don't know about Clinton. I was probably too young for that. But Bush was supposed to be the Antichrist. Then I want to say Obama was the Antichrist, and then Trump was the Antichrist. Like, and it's just like, what, right? And then you're either gonna stop what you're doing, right, and be petrified by fear, or you're gonna be like, all right, this is just today's obstacle. You're gonna get through it, right? And so that's that mentality, bro. So I love conspiracies like the next person. They're interesting. I believe in them all. I'm not gonna lie, because we don't know which part of the puzzle where it goes. They may all go or they may not go, but I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, all the ancient texts out there, all the religions and everything talk about aliens. They might have different words for it,
Right.
but you know, it's some things that's not from this planet that comes and visit us
Yeah. I
and speak to
right.
us.
Yeah.
When you
I
really think
think
about it,
I think those may be what angels are, in my opinion, to
they
some
might be
degree.
considered as the angels from the people who perceive them, right? Like
Right.
from
Right.
or gods, right?
Gods. Right.
So I don't let that thing. I don't let all the like. I'm one of the biggest conspiracy theories. I like listening. I like
Yeah.
expanding my mind and learning new things. I like hearing things from different people. I like hearing about different species of aliens that roam the earth, and they can shapeshift, and Beyonce is one of them, and so is Rihanna, and right, everything.
And
I like hearing about.
Michelle Obama
Yeah,
was supposed to be one, and I think now we have Kevin Hart is supposed to be a clone. I think uh,
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie
Jamie
Foxx is
Foxx.
a clone. There's another one. There's another one that's a clone. Tracy Morgan. Tracy Morgan
Dave
is a clone.
Chappelle. Dave
Dave
Chappelle's supposed to
Chappelle
be
is a
a clone.
clone. Yeah, Dave Chappelle is a clone. It's a
But whoa,
lot,
whoa,
bro.
but we talk about clones now. That's different than aliens. Now, are you trying to say that
Is
there
it?
isn't any technology? Yeah, yeah. Clones is supposed to be, taking your DNA and then creating another person of you. Which do you think they have the technology to do something like that now?
Okay, so they were talking about define. See, all of this goes back to definitions, right? It goes back to definitions because the USDA. This was like years ago. I think it was like the early 2000s. I want to say like before the teens. I don't even want to say it was 20 teens where the USDA approved the selling of clone meat,
Mm-hmm.
right? But what is the definition of cloned meat? Right? What's the
Yeah.
definition of clone? Because it wasn't like they were growing it. I want to say it was artificial, not artificial, but it was something with the way that they were raising the meat.
Clone meat is like
Like,
taking the DNA and reproducing it off of that
right.
DNA.
Well, I think that they were impregnating like the 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 mom and like growing it, and some instead of like growing it like in the mom or whatever in the womb of the mother, they
Yeah.
was growing it in something. Yeah. So that's what cloned is. Yet you didn't create that DNA. You see what I'm saying? It's like Jurassic Park. The way that they did Jurassic Park and they explained it
That's
where they
clones.
just like, right. They just so yet those DNA strands didn't come from anything. You might have used some other type of DNA to complete that strand, yet you didn't
Nah.
create it.
If we're going off of Jurassic Park, it did come off of the DNA of the dinosaurs. That's how they were created.
Right, that's
Re-
what I'm saying.
remember, remember, they extracted the DNA from the mosquitoes.
Right, right.
And
So
from there, they threw it into like a test tube in a laboratory and developed those specific dinosaurs from there. That could be the same way Dave Chappelle has been created. I'm just saying
that's
not saying
that,
that that
that
is, but
no, I get you, but
no,
that's what I'm
bro.
saying. So you have to they have to define what they mean when they say clone. Is it the same what y'all
Clone
did with
is
this
taking the
meat?
DNA and reproducing it. Like if I stick you with a needle and take your DNA out and put it in a a petri dish, and then go into my laboratory and create another Daniel.
Grow another
Yeah,
another Daniel.
that's clone.
That'd be kind of. I wouldn't say I would want them to clone me, but if I died and they did, I wouldn't care. Or if I was old, and I was like 1 foot in the grave, I wouldn't care to be cloned. But so here's the thing, though. The reason why that's tough because you can't recreate the soul, right? You can't clone the soul. And since you can't clone that, that's I can't go to I can't I can't I can't go to clones yet.
Yeah, it's not going to be you. It's just going to be another version of you.
Yeah, because you can't clone that. You can't do the soul, and man can't
But
recreate the
as
soul.
far as but the meat is there. As far as like cloning meat is good. Is
Yeah,
it's the same
because you
concept
can't do
where
meat.
they're developing it in a laboratory. That's
The
cloned
closest
meat.
the closest we got is the chip to the human brain, and no computer performs uh, as powerful as the human brain.
Not yet.
So not yet.
Not yet, but it'll get there.
Well, I don't think that AI can because they don't have feelings, right? So they can't make decisions. And I did see some really crazy, realistic robots, but I mean the expressions and things like that. You can tell robots because of the expressions that they, it's
Man,
not
look,
the same.
the way I look at it, right? When you speaking of clones, when you speaking of AI, when you speaking of robots, we're only exposed to what they're allowing us to be exposed to. You
That's
never
true.
know what's going on inside of someone's dungeon 20 stories underneath the earth where you need security access and retina scans and biometrics in order to get in to see what's going on. You mean to tell me these guys who are in the technology industry and IT industry with billions of dollars aren't doing things unethical in their basement? You get what I
Of
mean?
course
Like,
they are. Of
yeah,
course they are.
man. I think there's, yeah, I think it's just like military equipment usually gets the best technology before the public gets it, right?
Yeah.
The public doesn't see it until after it's been used and tested and all that stuff, and then all right, now let's make it for consumers. You get what I mean? So
Yeah.
um, if they're having robots now, where people can play with, that are able to make decisions or listen to commands, things like that. I think I seen on some type of streaming platform, some dude bought like a what's his name, Kai, whatever, I forget his name.
Oh,
That
Kai
main,
that seventy
yeah,
thousand dollar robot that he bought.
yeah, right. So and that's just the friendly version, right? That's just the friendly version, man. You mean to tell me they don't have like a killing machine robot out there that can
They
do things
do.
on his own, man? Yeah, I'm saying, right.
They do, but
Um,
see, the thing about manufacturing, and I gotta see it. I gotta see the robots. I gotta see the robots because
I want to see
humans
it. I want to see it. Yeah.
humans are capable of a lot. But the thing that will forever keep us separated from what they're able to do with robots. So the whole thing, you see the way that they make joints on robots. So the whole thing
Yeah.
is creating artificial life and being able to recreate or create life, Paul. I believe that that's what the whole race for all of this is, being able to fabricate life. Like in in the way that they're able to like break it down and try to put it on like a blueprint in order to make your joint, your elbow do something like this, bro. They can't even really do this with robots. If you notice the way when they create their robots, the way that their knees bend and things like that, to even make it do that motion, it has to go through so much. They have to create so much to make it do just that simple motion, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes the leg would be bent backwards a different direction to like kind of like, you know,
I get what you're
simulate that
saying.
motion. And that's my thing, right? And being able to do like the conscious mind and be able to make emotional decisions. I think that because that's all in programming. Someone has to write that code and tell it, hey, when you're faced with this, respond this way. That's why when they do Chat GPT, oh, I think we just lost Paul, ladies and gentlemen. I think we just lost Paul. I'm gonna try to get him back. I'm gonna try to see if he can come back. But the whole thing I'm saying, what I'm trying to say is, when they talk about AI and AI got, oh, he's calling back. A lot of people was afraid of AI. A lot of people were afraid of AI. Um, you
But
back,
you
Paul?
know, we're still in the developmental stages of all of this stuff, man.
Of the
I
AI?
get what you're saying about the joints. Yeah, with the AI, with the robots, and I get what you're saying about the joints and stuff, and how it hasn't got to the point where it replicates the complexity of our human joints.
Right.
But it's getting there. It's getting there to that point that people are getting hip replacements, knee replacements,
Mm-hmm.
elbow replacements, shoulder replacements. So now robots robots are gonna get there. Just give it some time. They're gonna develop that type of technology to where now they can be able to mass produce, based off of the patent of this person and that person. It's gonna get there because you just look at how things have just developed. Technology has developed over the time. Give it
Yeah.
another 100 years, it's gonna get to that point where we're probably not even gonna be able to tell if you're a robot or a human.
I want to see it, Paul.
I,
I'm not gonna lie. I want to see
I
it.
mean, I seen the Terminator. You know what I'm saying? Like that movie, The Terminator, right? Like,
I want to
imagine
see
it
it.
getting there, man. And then
I
you're
want
gonna
to
get
see
to the
it.
point like computers are able to reprint stuff themselves, right? And so, what if it gets to that point where it's a society of transformers, man, where they're able to breed themselves and think on themselves, and that's gonna be crazy, man.
I want to see it, and the reason why I want to see it is because I'm a fan of technology. I'm a fan of it. I'm
I
a
am.
fan of doing things that way. The only thing is, you just can't give them. They can't decide on their own, and I think that that's the thing that I don't know what humanity's fascination is with replicating, replicating life or owning life.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fascination is with that, and maybe I'm just not rich enough to be that bored, right? And I think that's what a lot of it boils down to. It's just like, well, what can I do next? Because Elon has a lot of money, he has a lot of
Yeah.
space, a lot of opportunity to like his wildest imaginations, man. Like people joke saying that the Cybertruck looks like the car we all drew,
Yeah.
and it's just like living out his childhood, imaginations, which is great, and I like to see it, but
Well,
I
I
still
think
don't know
it's
what the
because
fascination is with that.
I believe it's because of how a lot of people believe we are connected to technology. We got here because of technology, right?
Uh,
A lot of people believe we're the aliens that came here and inhabited the planet. And in order for that to occur, uh, require technology. So when you look at all the texts, the religious texts and everything, it sounds like all these ancient angels and demons are people who possess some sort of technology that they were and it's kind of the essence of what is called like transhumanism, right? Where
Mm,
it's technology connecting with humans, so that you got the all, the chip in your head, and you can think faster than normal, because it's helping you, like having Chat GPT in your head. You get what I'm saying? With that
yeah,
chip, so now you can think fast, you can come up with things fast, you could calculate numbers fast, formulas in your head, rather than having to write it down. The ability to have weapons and fly, right, or run faster, or
yeah,
whatnot. Yeah, I think that's what the belief is that humans and technology are intertwined in some way, and that technology is that intelligence, that um, maybe even created life or something, or has something to do with, uh, like, because, like, think about it, right? When I think about technology, or advanced technology,
hmm
you were mentioning like seeing an alien and stuff. If you see an alien, that means they have some crazy technology that got them here light years ahead, from a different galaxy. You get what I'm saying? It's a technology that surpasses ours. Um, that that's something that a lot of people are trying to aspire to. Is being able to have that type of technology, and there's evidence of a higher technology that we don't possess now, that's been here on this planet before, right? And that's like when you look at the pyramids, right? How were they even built? They were built by technology that we don't even possess anymore, because you can't recreate it now
they can't
with the
recreate the
technology that we
pyramids.
have today,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
where did it come from? People say it's from the Anunnakis to you know reptilians and all this
I
stuff, and
heard
I
about
don't
the
know.
reptilians. I heard about the
Yeah,
reptilians.
I don't know. I don't know, but I like reading about it, and listening to it, and it does open my mind, and it does make me ask questions. But a lot of these things that we're talking about, technologies from Enoch flying in a chariot,
Yeah,
and in the heavens and the space, right? That it can
yeah.
have that interpretation to a primitive society, which modern society can look at and say, yeah, man, it was flying in a rocket ship. He was
Yeah,
flying in a spaceship,
yeah.
and that's thousands and thousands of years ago,
Mm.
right? And that's what a lot of people are trying to recreate and aspire to, is being able to have that technology, that they believe has already been here before. Um,
Now, see the.
is it true? Yeah,
I was gonna
good.
say now. uh, I don't. Now, if an alien, if we were to see it, I would be okay. Like, okay, do it. But if a person was to say, "Hey, listen, I know exactly where they are. I can take you to them. You can go see them right now." I'm not gonna run to it, Paul. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not gonna run to it. I'm not gonna be like, "Oh yeah, cool, let's go see." No, I'm not gonna be like, "Nah." If they want to show, I'll take it like that. But I'm not gonna choose. I guess that's the
How
difference between
come?
a red pill or blue pill, because ignorance is
How,
bliss.
Yeah, the comfort of ignorance, right?
The
I would
comfort of
go because it's
ignorance.
like, if they were really, and I'm not saying that they're not hostile. I believe any type of species has that ability to be hostile. But if it was really that
Right.
that serious, we'd be seeing it all over,
Yeah, we
right
would
now.
know. We won't be
Yeah,
guessing. Yeah.
yeah. I think
But
there's some
see,
type of humanity that goes all across the universe, where it's not, you know, something where they're trying to
that
wipe us out or something like that. I don't think so.
things like that, being exposed to things like that changes you forever. You can't, because once you're exposed to something, you can't unexpose yourself to it, and it's gonna change you, whether it's for the good or bad or indifferent. Whatever you're exposed to is going to change you. You will not be the same. So, with that being said, I don't know what type of change in me would come with something like that. You're not going to be, dude. Paul, you've been overseas. You've seen war, right? That changes you. You will never be the same. There's soldiers that suffer from PTSD, to various degrees, right? To various degrees, whatever, what have you. Um, it changes you to the point where some of them aren't even fit to deal with humanity again. It changes you. I was talking to someone and they were talking about we were talking about war and taking life. And I said humans, we weren't created to take each other's lives. That's why it does something to you to take a human life. Now, are we all capable? Yeah, I believe we're all capable. If we're pushed to a certain, breaking point, everyone's capable of being a parent. I believe being a parent, you're the probably one of the main ones capable, right? Being a parent, defending your home. You know, you're capable. But that's why it does something to humans when humans take life. There's some people they said that you never stop seeing, you know, or hearing the people. Some people they told me like, yeah, being in war, like they still hear people, man, and I haven't seen it. I've been around it, being in Afghanistan. I've been around it, but I've met people that had conversations with people, and they were one way. They go off, whatever. They come back, totally different, bro. Totally different, and it's shocking to see. It's scary in some cases, but like, dude, you can't go back. You can't put the glasses back on when you take them off, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just living life and seeing things, does that's called experience. It does change you.
Yeah,
It's supposed to, but it has added, different effects on different people depending on
right.
the person's personality. Um, but
But you think you'd be able to handle it?
I would, I would definitely want to go ahead and see some aliens if I had the opportunity to. I definitely would. Yeah, man. Because it would be a confirmation to the things that I've
Listen,
you know read on and served on. Because I mean, look, man, we have um, we just can't. I don't think we're just the most intelligent species here on this planet. I think there probably are species that stay in hiding that probably are small or few or have been here for thousands of years. Who knows where they're hiding? They might be even hiding amongst us.
yeah.
They might. Yeah, they might even be. Like I said, we might even be the aliens. On this planet, and we don't even know, right? Because of how uh, we've of what we've been conditioned and taught, and everything that we know is based off of what they want us to know and what we've
Mm-hmm.
been taught, right? So um, it's easy to wipe the slate clean from generation to generation to where the current generation, the current society doesn't know anything about their past. So yeah,
Mm.
I wouldn't I wouldn't be surprised that there's different races of humanoid or even sea creatures or anything. I wouldn't be surprised. Who knows?
Nah.
A lot of these things. I mean, where did they get the concepts from in the movies? Like imagination. There has to be some truth to it. They there's like hundreds and thousands of books trapped in the vault of the Vatican that talks about a lot of different things and a
Oh
lot of
man,
different stories that they
the
keep away from
Vatican.
us knowing. Yeah, because again, they the people who are in control. Look, I've even heard stories like the people who are in control are some type of species that we don't even know about,
I've
right?
heard that too. I've heard
Yeah,
that too.
so there might just be an agenda just to be able to control and pacify people and keep people, to think one certain way and follow one certain course. And, you
Hmm.
know, you talking about you don't think humans were meant to kill. We probably were a society that were just violent, and then now we're pacified. Who knows? You get what I'm
Well,
saying?
history is
I,
violent. The Wild Wild
yeah,
West
I
was
mean,
violent, bro.
yeah. And men had to live with it like it was nothing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So We're
Yeah.
just now in a society where we're safe. We're in a general, we're safe. We don't have to worry about things like that, right? So,
But still, I don't
um,
think that just because just because violence is a part of you or you're capable of violence, I don't believe that, you know, we were meant for violence. Because you got to think about it. Everything that was meant in evolution, right? Because okay, I believe in evolution a little bit, not in the evolution scheme that is taught to us, like evolving from apes. I don't believe in that version of evolution, but I believe in
yeah,
regional evolution. If you're here, you know, you're if you're in like hot areas, your body is going to adapt to that. If you're in cold environments, your body's going to adapt to that. You know, certain things, right? Even with the way we talk, like depending on where you were born, your accent. So that I don't believe in like changing the makeup, right? So in the animal kingdom, right? Animals that are capable or of violence or doing certain things, their bodies are like geared toward that. Whether that's claws, talons, and the way that their
yeah,
teeth are set up, their jaws, their bite force, you know what I'm saying? Those type of things.
yeah.
Humans, we don't possess those type of things. You
Yeah,
could
we
take
do.
out a person or you could kill a person with your bare hands, yet we use weapons for a lot of our
Yeah, yeah. We use our brain to create weapons for violence.
for
I
violence,
mean,
right?
yeah. So if you so it's just I guess it has to you have to look at the concept of what is violence. Like you have to eat, and in order to eat, you have to kill your food, right? I mean, you had
That's
to
not
create the
violence
weapon
though.
for food. No, you don't think so?
No,
Breaking
that's
a
not
chicken's
violence.
neck is it violent?
That's not violence. Hunting,
No,
hunting.
okay,
I
I
don't, I
got
don't,
a wrong
I don't,
perception.
I don't consider. Well, then again, we gotta see what the definition of what violence means, because I mean, we have a definition based off of what we know the word to mean, but yet we have to look at like the Webster's definition of the word violence in order to
Let's look
know.
it
So
up.
I
Why
mean, I
not?
get
Let's look it up.
okay. Well,
I'll
I
look it
get
up. I'll look it up. Because I'm thinking like if a lion is coming at you, you got to get violent, right? Or not? What
man, you
is that?
better run. You ain't getting violent with no
What?
lion. Eh,
Not if
man,
I
that lion.
have, not if I you. So you're gonna run faster than a lion. I think if I had the tools and the weapon
Oh, if you have
to
the
kill it,
weapon,
I'm gonna have to
it
kill it.
depends on the type of. It depends on the type of weapon. Because if you have like a 22, you ain't. It depends on how many rounds you put into them. But you gotta have
Nah.
something, dude. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
do you have the definition?
yeah.
Because I
But
got it.
a lot of tribal people in the tribes where lions came, or from in Asia, I guess. Excuse me, they would kill lions with spears.
A
You know
lot
what I
of trial
mean?
and error. A lot of trial and error for that one, Paul.
So, violence is defined as a use of physical force or power that causes or are intended to cause harm. It is a result of physical, psychological, or both types of damage. Violence is often distinguished from aggression, which is a broader term that includes various forms of hostile behavior. It encompasses acts that can lead to injury, abuse, or destruction. Yeah, man, we were made for violence. We're the apex creatures of this planet, man.
We are
Right?
apex. We are apex.
Yeah. So
See, I believe. Okay, so in my opinion, right? Violence is the base form, right? Intellect using knowledge in order to like overcome an obstacle. That's what I believe makes us apex. I don't believe that our base, you know, uh, 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 so I want to read this because violence. I just Google search violence definition and it said behavior involving physical force intended to hurt, damage, or kill someone or something. And that's what I
mhm.
wanted to see, that force intended, like the intention to hurt, damage, or kill something. So like so I feel like, okay, going toward violence, right? And that's the reason why, in my opinion, I don't know, I wasn't there, right? I just read about and I was taught the Civil War, but I believe that that's the reason why the North won, in my opinion, because of their ability to be able to uh, use a lot of their brain power, right? Because if a person is just violent, right? If you walk into a ring and a person just goes back, that's why they talk about boxing when I was training. The first person to get angry, get upset, move with that emotion, you're gonna lose because you have to be able to. It's a chess game, right? So that's why I said if you succumbing to just violence, that's like the base form. Being able to use your intellect, that puts you on a higher form. But most of the time, the person that's the smartest is able to deal with those things. And I get it. You know, you can get hit with a nice punch, and that'll take away everything. You know what I'm saying? But the person that's able to calculate a lot more, the smartest person in the ring, I mean, tend, to be the person that's going to win. That's how Floyd Mayweather wins a lot of his majority of his fights, because he's just more tactful than his opponent. That's what I think about it.
Yeah, you talking about more so strategies, so.
Yeah, yeah. Dang, that's a way better way than I put it. Now I'm freezing. Why am I freezing? Okay, there we go.
But yeah,
Yeah,
you're talking about strategies, but you still have the capabilities of being violent. Um, but the use of strategy will allow you to use that violence to your advantage, right?
to your advantage. Yeah,
So, yeah, it
yeah.
allows you to use that violence the right way, right? So, but that's strategy. Um, but hey, I wanted to talk to you. Let's get off of the subject. I want to change subject real quick. I wanted to talk to you because I don't know much about this topic, right? That's been going on, and I
Which
think you
one?
probably have more knowledge about it. What's up with this DEI stuff that's been
Oh,
going on?
dude, bro.
What is that all about?
Diversity,
I've
equity,
been
and
watching a lot of
inclusion.
my friends on social media talk about it, and some people are upset, some people are not.
I
Um,
I hope when I go back to clip this episode, I hope this part gets clipped, right? Because I use AI,
okay.
I use a software for it. But so DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So Trump and this is what I was kind of alluding to in the beginning of the podcast, bro, with Beyond the Hustle. So Trump did away with DEI on a federal level, right? And if
Okay.
companies want to follow suit, they can, which means he broke up DEI. So now diversity hires, and that's what they're trying to say with the FAA and all of these people that got hired. This may be a reason too, because he wants to take the DEI hires out of the FAA, right? The air traffic control. I'm saying FAA, air traffic control. He wants to get them all out of there, and he wants to hire based off of merit and not for diversity, because we want to become more inclusive. So
So, were there
he
people who were
took that out.
specifically hired because
Yeah,
of
yeah,
diversity? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
yeah, yeah. So now I could do a bit more research on this. So Trump said, he was like, yeah, the DEI hires, right, were a part of the first crash that we heard, which was the Black Hawk uh, crashed into that plane, the passenger plane. So the female, it was a white female that was a pilot. Uh, Now
On
she
the
didn't have
commercial plane?
no in the Black Hawk. The Black Hawk was somewhere
Oh,
where it
for
wasn't
real?
supposed to be. Yeah, the Black Hawk was in
So
the
they
wrong.
finally said who was the pilot of the Black
Yeah,
Hawk?
they put her name and everything out there, and they
Because I
closed
remember we
down her.
talked about that last episode. Like they were putting the name out there.
They
The
didn't put her name out
pilot.
there.
Black Hawk.
They ended up putting it out there, and her page, she has pictures and things with like the rainbow flag, the gay flag, pride, and she has all this type of things. So the illusion is that she's DEI. Is it true or not? I don't know. Based off of her Instagram, it does look like that, and then they shut it down. They shut down her Instagram. They removed all the stuff, so you can't. So a lot of stuff wasn't easy to find for the people that were investigating. And Trump said it early on that she was DEI hire. Maybe he had information And then once it started coming out, and it appears, I'm not saying it's true or not, it just appears that she is a DEI hire. And so she had, I want to say like 500 hours, which she had like the minimum, and she wasn't like the best at it in her class or anything like that either. So I'm not saying that that's what led to the crash. I don't know. All I'm saying is the Black Hawk was somewhere where it wasn't supposed to be, and it could have made maneuvers to get out of the way too. And there
It
was
could
time.
have made maneuvers.
There
Everyone's
was time
been
too.
inside of a black box.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we talked about it before. Yeah, and there was time for her to get out the way too.
Mm-hmm.
Now the plane moving, they said the plane still would have hit because I mean it's a freaking plane.
It's a plane, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't move. And they were asking the guy, they were asking the captain of the plane, like, "Yo, you don't see it? You don't see it?" Talk about the Black Hawk. But I'm like, bro, unless there's lights all over that Black Hawk, you're not gonna see that thing. I mean, it's you can hear it, but it's made, you know.
That's unfortunate, man. That's unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all about getting the right people
Merit.
in the right position for jobs like that, man. I'm not about like, hey, let's just meet this quota and hire this type of person just to, be a
Inclusive,
diverse
bro. Right.
company or group or military. These are vital positions, man, for infrastructure of our country. And man, that's. I mean, I don't know if that's the reason, or I didn't even
Right.
know who was flying that
Yeah.
that plane. I thought I'm thinking it was a drone or something at
Nah.
first, right? Like,
Yeah.
um, but
They put it
and
out.
that sucks. I feel bad for her and her family, and
Her
family,
family.
and
Yeah.
yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, if what you're saying is she didn't have the skill set to even be flying, I don't believe people who shouldn't be, who don't have those capabilities to perform, who don't, um, who haven't earned that spot to be in whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter if she's a woman, if she's
Right.
gay or throws a flag. That's fine, and
Right.
dandy is just you. Please be the best at what you're doing,
Be the
man, because
best.
lives depend on you. You
this
know,
is
uh,
this is the thing
I would
that
Black Hawk with someone who's a pilot that it wasn't the best, and I've been in a lot of Black Hawks, man.
right.
And I don't even like flying in Black Hawks. I don't like helicopters, So
No.
I praise those pilots that got me down safely, man. That's
Yeah.
whew, yeah, man.
It's this is what and I was talking to Oxon about this. This is my thing with DEI. So people kept making it a civil rights thing, and it wasn't civil rights. Now, everyone can benefit from DEI. I'm not against that because I do believe diversity is what helps push a society, a business, all those type of things because different perspectives, right? And they were
Yeah,
talking about the success rate of a society that's inclusive. I forget the guy who did he was on the Breakfast Club. He was talking about it. I forget his name, but he was talking about how even America and how these companies, these major companies grew based off of their diversity, which I believe in. Now, the whole thing about Trump saying we want to get rid of DEI and get back to merit base is due to the abuse that he believes, right? I don't know if there was abuse or not. I can't speak to it, but I'm saying he's saying that there was abuse within it and that
yeah,
people that had the merit were being overlooked because we wanted to fill this diversity quota. And that's what you're going to get when you tell companies you have to do this. They're going to bring on,
correct.
like you said, to meet a quota because I want to keep getting those tax breaks. You're getting tax breaks and things of that nature, and you're getting kickbacks because of who you're hiring. There was one time I was getting a job and I got hired for the job, and they told me, hey, a survey is going to come your way and they have to hire a certain amount of people, certain demographic, making a certain amount of income, and they get a tax break, bro. They get an incentive. It's a grant program. They get an incentive, which means they get paid for having these diversity hires. And you know what I'm saying? People can't benefit from them yet. And this is why I told my wife, I said, people want that diversity, right? But you got to look at it. The people that are most of the time willing to go through the work that it takes to hold that credential, a lot of times they're going to look a certain type of way depending on the industry that you're in. So what do?
Yeah,
You you're a veteran. When it comes to the age and the gender of from varies from soldiers, the physical tests, the bar is moved based off of who you are. It's not saying
It's true.
everyone has to do this the same way, right? Because the ability isn't there. Well, the same thing goes with DEI. The bar was, and that's what Trump was talking about in the FAA. They lowered the bar, they lowered the standard for people that could be air traffic controllers. Gosh, I keep saying FAA, but air traffic controllers, they lowered the bar to allow these people to get in. And I guess maybe some industries lowering the bar, it doesn't hurt, but some, it will, you know.
Look, man, be the best at the profession that you want to get in, and if you're not hired, stop trying to you know cry about it. Just create your own job. You know,
And that
like
brings us to Beyond the Hustle, bro.
that's what I'm about, man. Like, yeah, man. If you're looking to be a pilot or something, and you just don't make the cut, create your own job. Find, stop looking for people to give you guys things. I'm
Yeah,
not into that. I'm not into the,
yeah,
hey, just because I'm black, give it to me or anything like that. I want to be the best man in the job to get the job done. And, if I'm not able to, so be it. I'm gonna just create my own job for myself, or work harder to get that job if that's what I really, really want to do. Um,
man.
yeah, I'm not about handouts, man. I'm about just getting things on my own, you know. So yeah, but I was just wondering about it. I wanted to know what the whole gist was. I do see that they were shutting down and getting rid of a lot of different agencies and companies
Oh,
and firing
dude.
people and all that, right? Elon Musk was going ham and stuff, right?
Oh,
He's like,
bro. He is
I
going
did
in.
read about that, man. This
He's
guy was
going in
going
with
ham.
USAID, bro. I'm
Yeah,
all in it.
yeah.
You
What is
hear me, Paul?
I
You
don't even
hear,
what,
bro?
look, man, look, Jay, I'm gonna be real
I'm
with you,
all
man.
in it.
All I do is work, man, and freaking, try to get some sleep because my kids are jumping in my bed while I'm sleeping and, pay my bills, bro. I'm not paying attention to all this. I don't know what this USAID is all about because
Oh, dude.
I haven't looked for any type of aid or anything. I'm out here working and grinding, not grinding, but, hustling to get things on my own. I'm not, but it seems like they uncovered a lot of funds and money that has been misused, and
A
I
lot of
mean, I think that's a
funds.
good thing, right? I'm not sure. I don't know too much about it. I just see posts on Facebook and stuff. What's that all about? Like
So,
you're much more in tune with what's going on with the
dude,
news than I am, man.
man,
I don't, I don't,
Pa,
I didn't even watch the Super Bowl. Like, what's for real?
oh,
I
dude,
didn't even.
dude. See, I watch.
Like,
I don't watch during the season of basketball or football. I don't watch during the season. I just watch the biggest game because you know, uh, something I can talk about with the guys. When I'm streaming, I can talk about it. And then I still like sports, right? I don't have the time to watch them like I used to. So when the
yeah.
good game is on, like the Super Bowl, I wanted to watch that. I'm a Kendrick fan, so I wanted to see Kendrick perform during the halftime. And then I just wanted to see a good football game, right? I'm yelling at the TV,
Kendrick's whack to me,
you
man.
know.
I don't even
Oh
know
no,
what.
Paul, we're
I
not
didn't
gonna
even
do
watch.
that.
I didn't
No,
even watch the. I didn't watch the halftime show. I
no,
heard about the halftime show with some
no,
subliminal messages
no.
going on. I mean, look. I mean, he probably did some subliminal messages
He
and
did.
stuff and
He
everything, and
did.
was calling out Drake and all that. I know, but I never liked his voice, man. That's just the thing.
Oh
Kendrick
man.
Lamar's voice, and I'm
Oh,
just from a different generation. That's all. These
oh
new
man.
generation of rap. I remember the first time I heard that diss song about Drake. I'm like, what is this, man? It's just garbage. I don't want to hear this,
Oh man.
right?
See, that's his diss
but
song. Kendrick.
and they made a
Kendrick
big
is
deal about it. Like, what's the big deal about this diss song? I don't get
because
it.
for number one, he dethroned Drake, which was like artist of the millennia. That's how huge Drake
Yeah, man,
is.
Drake's been rocking, bro.
Drake is
Drake's been
huge.
rocking.
Man is the artist of the millennium. He's huge. I want to say Michael Jackson got that award or something like that. The dude has like 143 million followers on Instagram. Artist Drake is like the man. he's passed like a bunch of Michael Jackson's numbers. That's how big he is. So to have a
So
guy
that's
like
the whole
Kendrick,
only reason why this guy Kendrick Lamar is getting praise is because he went after a
he
guy
went
who's
after
on top of the
Goliath,
throne.
bro. He went after
Yeah.
Goliath and he won. So like, and Kendrick is not.
Who made
Kendrick
him
is
win
like,
though?
uh,
That's not the media, bruh. The media made him win.
nah, the media didn't make him win,
I
bro.
just told you,
That's
man.
what
They be passing out agendas, man.
that's what Drake is suing for. Drake is suing because he's saying that you guys you pushed his music out there. Here's the
Here's the
thing.
truth.
Because
The media,
Drake,
bro.
when I don't, here it is, bro. Drake, when they're pumping and inflating your music, because it's Drake is a pop artist. He's not rap.
Yeah.
He's more like pop.
None of these
Kendrick
guys are anymore.
Kendrick is rap. He makes like pro black music. Kendrick is like Black
I don't
Panther.
know. I don't listen. I never
Yeah,
heard of it.
and that's why. Excuse me, I hit the mic, and that's why him winning was so crazy. I just froze. Oh, that's why him winning was so crazy because you had this black activist esque rapper
Oh, he's
take
a
out
black
this black
activist. Is that what he is? He's a black
type rapper,
activist.
type rapper, right? Like he's like pro black, like everything, like pro black. So like for him to win was crazy because that doesn't get that's not going to get your radio play. Kendrick is not on the radio. You know what I'm saying? He's not that type of
Yeah.
artist. So he's more substance based. He's more character driven. You know what I'm saying? He's that type of artist. He's more down to earth. So to have an artist like that win against Drake, and then not to mention he's like lyrical as hell. Like he's a good artist. But I want to like digress to the USAID because that's a lot. The USAID is a lot, and I'm into politics, so I'll sit there and watch Congress vote on a bill, bro. Like that's
Yeah.
what I do. I go to my phone, I'll go to like whatever they're streaming, whatever, and I just sit there and watch it or I listen to it. I'll be in the gym, I'll be in the car, listen to it. I'm a fan of like politics is entertainment to me. It's entertainment. I'll sit there and watch, C-SPAN vote on bills. I
That
used to
used to
watch
be a
that.
form of entertainment back in the day before
Yeah.
TV and everything
I used
was
to put on
going to the court.
C-SPAN. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do it too and watch them vote and
just
everything.
watch
I
them
used to do
vote,
that too.
bro. That was
Yeah.
interesting. But USAID is what is it's not for America, like aid for America. It's for like other country aid. Right?
Oh, hell no.
And they would there you go. I'm just gonna tell you this. They spent $100 million for condoms in Uganda. And that's what he found. I'm not even gonna go to the rest of it. They were paying money to put on transgender plays in other country. They were spending money, sending money to other countries, foreign aid for transgender awareness programs. Dude, I can't even get to it all. They got a
If
whole
people were
list.
mad about this, people were mad that he cut them off for that.
Yes.
Are you
Those are
serious?
tax dollars. Yes, bro. They were saying they're calling Elon. They're saying that he's an unelected government official with his hands in the government. They're calling for his head, bro. They got a witch hunt.
Oh
on
my
Elon,
goodness! You mean the
Yeah.
guy who's like worth billions of dollars, who's
Yeah.
going out there and who's saving America millions and billions of
Money.
dollars? They're going after
Millions,
his head.
bro.
This
They
stuff
spent-
doesn't. I need to go. I need to crawl back under this rock that I've been hiding.
They
under
spent
because-
$350 million on animal transgender experiments where they were mutilating animals, like rats and mice and monkeys. They was giving them the hormone treatments that they would give humans to see what their response were. Then they were overdosing them on the medication to see how their bodies would respond. God, it was a lot, bro. And I haven't been paying attention this week, so who knows what he found. So the problem is he has these kids. Well, they're calling them kids. The oldest is 25, up to like 19,
Yeah.
18, whatever, working, digging through these files, going through it. So they're like the U.S. Treasury. They have access to money and Social Security numbers and wire transfer, but they don't. They only have access. They have read only access, so they can't change anything. They can't do anything. They can only look at the
Elon
payment
Musk doesn't need
systems.
our money, bro. He doesn't need our money. He's
He
good.
doesn't need our
I
money. First
think
off,
Elon Musk.
he
He
doesn't
doesn't
need
need our
it.
social.
No, he don't need
So,
any of that. And they're saying that he's stupid, and I'm like, this dude is worth billions. He's not stupid. Anyone that can make $1 billion, hell, anyone that can make tens of millions, a million, they're not stupid. So I don't understand why these people are
dude,
calling
I
him stupid.
appreciate you keeping track of what's going on in the
Oh,
current
bro,
media. I don't, bro. I really don't.
man,
I don't. It
uh,
doesn't even concern me. But I like the fact that he's you know they're working. They're showing you that they're working, bro. Like what has the last administration done for
man, that's
really?
a whole other.
They're probably the ones that put these things into place and
They
gave
did,
these countries money.
they did,
Oh
bro, they did.
God,
So
man, wow. It's
now,
that one
now there's a Trump. Trump is like, we're sending all this money out there. He said, I seriously doubt that all this money was used for that purpose. I want to know who got the kickbacks. So now there's an he's going to open up he did open up an investigation to see when the money got kicked back, who did it go to? So Trump is trying to like, now I'm not saying that they're transparent, but the reason why I'm so interested is I said I've never seen an administration run like this before, and there has to be a reason. So why are you guys claiming that you're the most transparent administration and you're showing these receipts? So what is that about? I don't know. I'm not saying that I know, and I'm not saying that he is the most transparent yet. What I can say, in my 39 years of circling this globe, I've been voting since I was 18. I've never seen this from a president ever. The U.S. Treasury, the U.S. Treasurer, the head of the U.S. Treasury said, in all my years of politics, I've never seen anything like this. This is the best idea I've seen for our country. The U.S. Treasury said that because they interviewed him,
man.
asking him what's going on with Elon and his people. He said they don't. He said, listen, the payment systems aren't even in this building. He said, so if they did want access, because it's all fake media, if they did want access to the payment systems, it doesn't even sit here. They sit somewhere else. Not to mention they're working out of the White House. So they can only do what the White House allows. But anyways, bro, that's a whole other podcast, bro. We could do a political podcast if you want to, bro. I'm down for it. I want to do
That's
something.
Your thing.
I wanted to
That's
do
your thing, man.
political content.
You're gonna make me have to look up on it and see what's going on, bro. But
it's interesting,
I like
man.
that.
It's interesting, man. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna pay attention to what they're doing. So, I haven't looked at it this week to see. They're gonna go into Medicaid, they're gonna go into Social Security.
Did you hear about what were they FEMA. Talking about the food though? I remember I heard about like Robert Kennedy appointed to take out some of these harmful products in the food. Yeah.
So and they grilled him too because he had to go before the Senate. They grilled the mess out of him too, but he made it through the hearings. So companies, well, you already know countries don't import much from America, and they don't take any of our food. So Trump is like, why don't they take our food? He's like, well, the stuff the chemicals and things that we put in our food, the pesticides, things of that nature, it's harmful. So he's like, we have to change.
That's why I have to decompress and go to different countries in order to get some good food, man. Yeah.
So Kennedy talking about he want to make it illegal to be fat, bro. I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Get out of here. What? You kidding me, bro?
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Is that Trump true? Are you trolling
I'm
me
dead
right
serious, bro. Dead serious.
Illegal
Trump
to be
like,
fat?
it should be illegal to be fat. Yeah, so I don't know how true that is, right? I don't know if that's even gonna happen. It could be just a troll moment.
That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. That ain't right.
So, but he wants to. Trump wants to cut down on obesity and unhealthy lifestyles. So
that's cool though. I like that.
Yeah,
I like
the idea,
cut down on obesity. I like being able to take out the harmful chemicals in our food. Because it's like, dude, everything we eat is cancer, right? Like everything in the supermarkets, man. And you're lucky to get something healthy even at the health food stores. So, these other countries have it right. They're still trying to get as natural as possible with their foods. And here in
Yep.
America, it's like loads and loads of, man. They got
Crap.
39 ingredients in a Chick-fil-A sandwich, man. Are you kidding me?
Insane.
What
Insane.
what kind of chicken is needs 39 freaking chemicals in there, man?
Clone chicken,
39
bro.
pieces of chicken.
It's clone chicken, bro. You got to do that in clone. You
Yeah,
can't get it natural,
Lord.
or the chicken would be smaller. The chicken would be smaller. Now, so now it come to find out that eggs are high. Of Biden's administration, they okayed the killing of 100 million chickens. So that drove the price of eggs up because they were trying to fight some infection, to spread to stop some disease from spreading. So they killed 100 million chickens.
Oh
So that
man, we were
drove the
talking
price of
about that in the gas
eggs.
station today about the price of eggs going up
That
and
drove the
everything.
price of eggs up, bro. Like, dude, it's a lot, and I'm here for it all, bro. I'm here for it all, man. I love it. I don't know what our next 4 years are gonna look like. I have hopes for what it can be, and then he wants to kick back. He wants to kick back the schools, like education. He wants the states to control education. He doesn't want education to be controlled on the federal level anymore. He's trying to shrink government. That's why they're firing a lot of people. Even a lot of soldiers got placed. One of my friend, my brother-in-law, he got offered that deal. They're like, hey, they can buy out your contract, get this amount of money, and be gone for the army. But he's like, nah, he wants to retire. So he wants to retire, but
Yeah, I'm
Trump
all
wants to
for
shrink
I'm all
government.
for smaller government, man. I
Yeah.
mean, we don't need the government on our daily ordeals all the time, man.
Yep.
That's just a form of control, right,
Mm-hmm.
over the people. I mean, I think the outcry are those people in the government positions that get paychecks from being in those positions are crying about it because they're about to get fired. But again, find yourself and make your own job, bro.
Make your own
Like
job beyond the hustle, bro.
yeah, man, for real, make your own
Yeah.
job. But because you shouldn't be in the you know in the back pockets of the people like that, and controlling people like they want to have control of your kids, and how you raise your
Mm-hmm.
kids and stuff like that. That's
And
that's unbelievable, and
and I ain't
that's
with
one of the
that.
things I like hearing about Robert Kennedy talk. He talked about he talked about like the vaccines that they're putting in the kids.
Yep.
All these, like right when they're born, immediately they take their first breaths, and start wailing and crying, and they get taken away and just stuck with these vaccines like they're not already, born perfect, specimens out here. They need to
Mm-hmm.
be enhanced with these vaccines that's going to protect them when it's not even the case. We
No.
never got all these vaccines that they're giving out to kids now, and
No.
I've seen a lot just from friends of mine to even in my own situation where I vaccinated my kids. They get sick right after that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some of them even go into autism, because of these vaccines. So
Yep.
it's a scary world we're living in, and hopefully there is this change that's coming about, and hopefully they do it right. And I'm confident that there's smart people out there, that are gonna do the right thing, you know.
Common sense gotta
Um,
come. Common sense gotta
yeah,
be
but ultimately
common
you
sense,
gotta
bro.
yeah, you gotta lead your own family, man. Ultimately, and make the right decisions for your own
Yeah.
family, and not rely on other people to make those decisions for you, So yeah,
Man,
common sense is that common, bro.
common sense.
Not that
No,
common.
but make common sense great again, bro. That's a vibe, bro. We gotta have it. We do gotta have a political vibe, man. We maybe get like somebody in politics. So if you're a politician, you know someone in politics, bro. We could do a political pod, man. Y'all can come on and be a guest, bro. I think that'd be dope.
Yeah, definitely. You and Daniel should go at it. And anyone who's educated in politics, get on and let's hear what you have to say. Because, yeah, I like to just, I like to be on that hustle, man. I'm not paying attention to what's going on around. I can only tell you
Yeah.
what's going on my street and my house, you know. But definitely, man, it is tax season, though.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
I
yes.
am the nation's tax expert. Thank you so much. It's already being a busy and wonderful season,
Oh yeah.
and you guys are keeping me busy. So yeah, B, hit me up. I make myself available for you. It's a pleasure for me to serve you. You know how to reach me, taxmoney.com, or you can hit me up here on Facebook, send me a DM. And also, if you want your business advertised here on Beyond the Hustle, holla at
Yes,
my man
yes,
Daniel. Daniel,
yes.
tell him what's up, bro.
Man, yeah, let me know if you guys want to. We're looking for sponsors. So you sponsor episode. We have 3 episode sponsorships, ad placements, ad creation if you need so. All the details will be available to you once we communicate. We can get that to you, man. Make sure you hit up Paul Rene, taxmoney123.com. And we will see y'all right here next Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Y'all have a good night. Deuces.